Hey everyone, and welcome back. So, you've been exploring generative AI, right?
Hmm.
Seeing what it can do, like how it can write text and music and even design products.
That's amazing stuff.
It really is.
Hmm.
But we need to make sure that these AI projects deliver, real results.
Yeah,
We need to make sure these aren't just expensive experiments.
exactly.
So this deep dive is all about unlocking the power of measurement when we're talking about generative AI.
Love it.
Think of it as your guide to cutting through all the hype and focusing on what really matters, getting real business value.
You hit the nail on the head. It's like that old saying, you can't improve what you don't measure. Generative AI is a potential game changer, but only if we're keeping track of the right things. And that's where key performance indicators come in.
KPIs.
Exactly. KPIs, they're like our compass. They make sure we're on the right track to achieve our goals.
So KCIs are our guiding stars. And our sources for this deep dive, a group of Google Cloud experts, they really stress the importance of looking at the big picture, taking this kind of holistic view. What does that actually mean in practice?
Well, it's like building a house, right?
Okay,
You wouldn't just like slap on a fancy roof without a solid foundation.
right.
It's the same with generative AI.
Okay,
It's not just about how smart the AI is, it's about the whole ecosystem.
got it.
We need to look at the underlying AI model itself, the whole system that it operates within, and then also its impact on the business. These all have to work together.
So it's this three-pronged approach, the AI model, the system, and the business impact. I like that. Let's break that down. Let's start with the AI model. What kind of KPIs can we use to actually measure its success?
So one of the most important ones here is what's called the quality index.
Yeah.
Think of it like a report card for your AI.
I like it.
It takes into account different factors like accuracy, fluency, how well the AI understands context. It's basically a single score reflecting the overall performance.
Got it. So it's not just about whether the AI can, spit out grammatically correct sentences, but whether it actually understands, the nuances of language
Precisely.
in context.
Yes, you want your AI to generate text that reads well but also makes sense for that given situation. And just like any good report card, you want to see improvement over time. You want to see an upward trend. That means your AI is learning, it's getting better.
That makes sense. Now, our sources also talk about something called hallucinations in the context of AI. It sounds kind of trippy. What is that?
It's not as psychedelic as it sounds, but it is a key challenge in generative AI.
Okay.
Hallucinations, they happen when the AI generates outputs that, they sound plausible, but they're actually incorrect or nonsensical.
Okay.
Imagine like an AI assistant for a travel agency, and it's confidently telling a customer that unicorns are the main mode of transportation.
Okay, yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah. So tracking the error rate, especially for these hallucinations, is really important. By keeping tabs on how often your AI kind of veers off into fantasy land, you can adjust your training data, fine-tune the model, and try to get it back on track.
So it's kind of like keeping the AI grounded in reality.
Yeah.
Now, beyond accuracy, speed also plays a big role, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Especially in user experience. I mean, we live in a world of instant gratification.
Nobody wants to wait around for the AI to churn out a response.
Exactly.
That's where latency comes in as a really critical KPI. That measures the delay between, giving the AI a request and when it actually gives you a response.
Right.
The lower the latency, the faster and more responsive your AI appears.
So it's all about that snappy response time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered some key KPIs for evaluating the AI model itself. Quality, we've got error rate, latency. But remember that holistic view our experts were talking about. It's not just about the AI by itself. We also have to look at the entire system that it operates within.
It's like this, imagine you've got the most brilliant student in the world. But if they're stuck in a chaotic classroom, there's no structure, no support, they're not going to thrive.
Right, so the AI is the student, the system it operates within is like the classroom, the whole school environment. What kind of KPIs can help us measure the health and effectiveness of that AI classroom?
One important metric here is throughput.
Okay.
It measures how much data your AI system can handle. A system with high throughput is like a well-oiled machine,
Okay.
processing information quickly and efficiently.
So we want a system that can handle, a large volume of data without breaking a sweat.
Exactly, especially as data volumes just continue to explode.
Of course.
But speed is only one part of it. We also need to make sure that our AI tool can integrate seamlessly with our existing workflows and systems.
Right, because we don't want our AI to be isolated.
We need it to be a team player.
Exactly.
That's why integration and backward compatibility are so vital. They tell us how easily our AI can talk to other systems and whether updates will cause any hiccups.
So it's about making sure our AI isn't stuck in its own little silo. It's part of the bigger picture, that it's able to share information and work with other systems. And this seamless integration, I imagine, is absolutely crucial for, unlocking the true power of AI across an organization.
Exactly. And this is where a really strong data environment comes into play. Remember that house analogy we were talking about?
Yes.
Well, if the AI is the structure, then data is the foundation.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. You can't have a stable structure without a solid foundation. So even with the smartest AI, if the data is messy or, inconsistent or unreliable, the whole thing is at risk.
Exactly. Data quality is paramount. And when we talk about data quality, we're talking about more than just quantity. We're talking about relevance.
Right.
It's not enough to just have mountains of data. We need to make sure that data is actually relevant to the tasks we want it to perform, the insights that we're hoping to gain.
So it's like we're feeding our AI the right kind of fuel,
Precisely.
the information it needs to learn.
If you feed it irrelevant data or biased data, it's like trying to, teach someone to cook a gourmet meal using only ingredients from a vending machine.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Not going to happen.
We need to provide our AI with a balanced diet of high-quality, relevant data. This is the bedrock of successful AI.
This makes perfect sense. We've established that it's crucial to evaluate the AI model itself, how it's working, the operational system, but ultimately, it all comes down to how this impacts the actual business, right?
Absolutely.
That's what everyone wants to know. Is this investment actually moving the needle?
And that brings us to the third and I think most exciting area, the actual business impact of generative AI. This is where things get really interesting because we start to see those results, the return on our AI investment.
All right, let's dive into that then.
Yeah.
What are some KPIs that can help us quantify that business value?
One important one is the adoption rate. How many people within your organization are actually using these AI tools you've invested in? You can have the most sophisticated AI system in the world, but if it's just sitting on a shelf gathering dust, it's not doing anyone any good.
It's like having that gym membership, but never actually going to the gym.
Exactly. We want to see people using the AI tools, integrating them into their work, and becoming more productive.
So adoption rate is a key indicator of whether or not your AI is actually, gaining traction within the organization.
Exactly.
Just making sure it's actually being used.
Yes, and beyond just using it, we want to see engagement. Are they using it frequently, finding it helpful? Are they integrating it into what they're doing every day? To measure this, we can look at things like frequency of use, session length. These give us insights into how often people are turning to the AI for help and how long they're engaging with it.
So we're not just looking for a one-time thing. We want the long-term relationship.
We want to see those signs that people are incorporating AI into their work and getting real value from it.
And ultimately, we want to connect all of this back to tangible business outcomes, right?
Exactly.
Increased revenue, cost reduction, better customer satisfaction, faster product development cycles.
All the things that get the executives excited.
Exactly.
You're exactly right. The business value KPIs will vary a bit depending on your industry, your specific goals, and what you're trying to solve with AI. But the key is to link the AI's actions to their impact.
So let's say you're in customer service, you might track, I don't know, the average handling time, after implementing an AI chatbot.
Precisely. Or in marketing, you might look at AI-generated content and how that impacts, click-through rates.
Right.
It's all about connecting those dots between the AI and the business value.
I like how these business value KPIs bring everything full circle.
Yeah.
They show the real impact of the AI investments. It's not just about the cool technology, it's about what it allows us to achieve.
Absolutely. And it's not a one-time evaluation. We need to continuously monitor these KPIs.
Right.
We gather feedback, we make adjustments along the way.
Of course.
Generative AI, it's a process, an iterative process.
It's a journey.
Exactly.
We're constantly learning and experimenting.
And KPIs are our compass. They help us navigate all the complexities of AI and measure our progress along the way.
This has been really insightful. But we're just getting started, right?
Oh, yeah. We've laid the foundation for understanding what we measure in generative AI, but there's a lot more to cover.
Well, listeners, you heard it here. We're about to take this deep dive even further. Coming up, we'll be exploring more specific KPIs and how they play out in different departments and industries. So grab your notebooks and get ready for more AI insights.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of measuring the AI model, the system it lives in, and ultimately, its business impact. Now let's get specific. Our sources highlight some really interesting business impact KPIs, especially within different departments.
Yeah, the beauty of generative AI is it's so versatile. It's not just for one department or industry. It can really revolutionize how marketing teams, create their campaigns, how customer service handles inquiries, even how engineers design products. And with each application, there's a unique set of KPIs tailored to measure its success.
Right, it's not one size fits all. So let's say you're a marketing manager. You're excited about using AI to boost your campaigns. What kind of metrics should you be looking at?
One of the biggest goals for marketing is that return on ad spend, right?
Yeah.
You want to get the most bang for your buck. With generative AI, you can create really targeted, personalized ad copy that speaks to specific people. So tracking the conversion rate of these AI-generated ads compared to the old way of doing things, that's going to be a key indicator.
Yeah, seeing a lift in conversions,
Yeah.
that's a good sign.
Yep.
It means it's working.
Exactly.
And it's not just about writing the ad copy. Imagine using AI to analyze tons of customer data. It can identify patterns, trends, things that we might miss. This could uncover whole new customer segments.
Wow.
In this case, you might track how many new leads are generated from these insights.
It's like having an AI detective on your team.
Exactly. And then there's the creative side. Generative AI can help come up with fresh campaign ideas, generate visuals, even write scripts for video ads.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. In these cases, you might look at engagement rates, likes, shares, comments, and how they compare to past campaigns.
It's incredible how AI can be analytical and creative at the same time.
It really is.
It can uncover insights, but also come up with these imaginative ideas.
And that makes it super powerful for all sorts of business functions. Like, take customer service, for example. AI-powered chatbots are getting so good at understanding and responding to questions.
Right, and for a lot of companies, customer service is a huge pain point. Long wait times, frustrated customers. How can AI help with that, and how do we measure it?
One of the key metrics is first contact resolution rate.
Okay.
It's how often a customer's issue is solved on that first interaction without needing to escalate or call back. A well-trained chatbot can handle those common queries really effectively, and that leads to improvement.
That's huge because it frees up the human agents to focus on the more complex stuff.
Absolutely.
And it makes customers happier, too.
Exactly. Happy customers and efficient teams.
And of course, speed is super important in customer service. No one wants to wait on hold forever.
Right.
So tracking the average handling time with and without AI can really show the impact of that automation.
Yeah, if we see that handling time drop significantly after putting the chatbot in place, that's a good indicator that things are moving in the right direction.
Customers get faster resolutions, the team is more efficient.
Exactly.
And then beyond speed and efficiency, we can even look at customer satisfaction.
Yeah, you want to make sure the AI isn't just fast, it's actually helpful.
Right, exactly.
Things like customer satisfaction surveys, those can be super valuable for understanding how those AI-powered interactions are being perceived by the customer.
Because it doesn't matter if it's fast, if it's leaving your customers frustrated.
Exactly.
We want AI to make things better, not worse.
Absolutely. And that brings up a really important point. When we're measuring AI's success, it's not just about the numbers, it's about understanding the why behind the numbers. We've got to look deeper, analyze the feedback, and use those insights to keep getting better.
So it's using the data to tell the whole story, right?
Exactly.
Not just what's happening, but why and how can we make it even better?
And this approach to AI is important across the board, no matter what industry you're in. Whether it's marketing, customer service, even product development, the key is choosing the right KPIs, tracking them, and using that information to make better decisions.
So it's about being strategic, thoughtful, always looking at the big picture. Now, our sources mention that generative AI can even revolutionize product development, which is a really interesting idea. So how can we measure the impact of AI in that area?
So generative AI could really speed up the design process. Imagine you feed the system a set of design parameters, constraints, and it spits out hundreds of potential designs, each one unique. This can drastically cut down the time it takes to go from idea to prototype.
It's like having, a whole team of AI designers working 24/7.
Exactly. And in this case, a key KPI would be time to market.
Okay.
How long does it take to bring a new product to market from the initial idea to actually selling it? If AI can significantly reduce that time frame, that's incredibly valuable.
Speed is so crucial in business. If
Absolutely.
you can get your product out there faster than your competitors, that's a big advantage.
Huge advantage.
Right.
And it's not just about speed, it's about being innovative.
Yeah.
Generative AI can help designers think outside the box and come up with really groundbreaking stuff.
That's amazing. But how do you measure something like innovation?
That's a good question. It can be tricky. But one way is to track how many new features or design elements come directly from AI.
Right.
For example, let's say there's this unique design element that your AI system came up with,
Right.
and it ends up being a major selling point for your product. That's a pretty clear sign of AI-powered innovation.
It's about being able to connect those dots.
Yeah.
To say, hey, this really cool idea, this innovation, it came from our AI.
And while it's easy to get caught up in the positives, it's just as important to think about the potential downsides and how to address them.
That's a really important point. We need to use this technology ethically and responsibly. It's like they say, with great power comes great responsibility. We need to make sure we're not just going after any metric, but using these KPIs to make sure we're developing AI responsibly.
Exactly, and that's a really important point. As we use generative AI more and more, how we measure success, that needs to change too. We've covered a lot of great KPIs today, but it's not about finding the perfect metrics, you know?
Right.
It's about choosing the KPIs that match your specific goals and values.
So less about checking boxes and more about making sure what we're doing with AI is taking us where we want to go.
Yeah, having that purpose and using KPIs to guide us. And just like, if you're exploring new territory, you have to be adaptable. You might have to change course based on what you find.
It's all about learning and improving as we go. Exactly.
And that goes for us, A&D, the AI systems we're building. Our understanding of generative AI is always growing. And with that comes the need to get even more sophisticated
Right.
in how we measure its impact.
Exactly. One area I'm excited about is developing KPIs that go beyond just the business side of things and look at the human experience.
Okay, that's really interesting. What kind of metrics are we talking about there?
Imagine being able to measure how AI impacts things like our creativity, our ability to solve problems, even our well-being.
Wow.
It's early days, but there's a growing understanding that AI's impact goes way beyond just the bottom line.
So it's not just about whether AI is saving us time or money, but is it making us more creative, more insightful?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
about the full picture of what AI can do, the good and the bad. And using measurement to make sure we're developing it responsibly, that's a great point to end on. A reminder that at the center of all this incredible technology is us, humans. So as we continue to see what generative AI can do, let's make sure we're measuring what really matters, both for our businesses and for ourselves.
Well said.
And there you have it, another deep dive done. We hope this episode gave you a good framework for measuring success in your own AI projects, and that it sparked your curiosity to keep learning more about these KPIs. Until next time, keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep asking those important questions.